Hello guys, this is Jonathan Stedman, and today guys what I'll be doing is installing Arch Linux. And you guys may be asking, is it hard to install Arch Linux? Not really, it's not really difficult, even though I'm going to be following a guide, but overall it's not that difficult, it's not as hard as Gen 2. If you think Arch Linux is difficult, then we should see how difficult Gen 2 is. I can't even get it installed, but with Arch Linux I will be able to get that installed. So I'll be following this manual. You guys will be able to follow it as well as you want to. I'll be installing this onto a virtual machine, so you guys will be able to follow me on a virtual machine. Just make sure that we have EFI enabled. That's basically it. Just make sure we have attached to the ISO file. Make sure it's over 20 gigabytes of storage at least. For this, for partitions I have for this will be more than it's around 30 gigabytes of my hard drive on this virtual machine, so everything should be fine. Okay, so right now it's going to be booting up. It should not take that long to boot up at all. What I will have to do, guys, is test out the network. You guys have to do the same to make sure that the network is working correctly. The network should be working correctly for me because it just should be. Just wait for it to load up, and then we have to test out the network. What I would use, guys, is ping, because ping is very good. Okay, now do ping, and now from here we can do google.com. Google is a good website. Okay, so once you see all these messages, then there's no problems. But if you do run into problems, then we obviously need to fix them. Okay, now once you know that the internet is working completely fine, what you guys will need to do is to actually start doing the petitions. So to do this, do cfdisk. Now to do def SDA, and that should start to create for petition, and now we can go for GPT, and then we should see this message up here, free space. That is completely fine. Just go to new, and we can give this one around 500 megabytes, because this will be our boot sector basically, or our boot files will be here. So just do that, and I have to change the type and change it to go up and change to an EFI system. So make sure that is enabled. Okay, this will be our EFI partition, and now what you guys will have to do is now create a new partition, and that one will be give around 4 gigabytes of storage, maybe 3. I will just give around 2 gigabytes. This should be enough. So give around 2 gigabytes, and then that will be our swap partition. So select Linux swap, and now we have to select one more partition, and that should be enough. And now go to type. Okay, go to type, and now select this one to be a Linux file system. Okay, so everything should be correctly done. So what I have to do now is write. So write partitions. So you should see this right over here. Just press into the enter key, and now type yes, and that should write down the partitions. And now what you guys can do is quit, and that should exit from this program. Okay, so once I've exited from the program, what you guys will need to do is confirm for petitions, and this is quite important because it should say over here to confirm it. I did all that. Okay, so we can review it by doing fdisk it should be fdisk -l, and this should allow us to see all of our petitions. So what you guys should have is EFI Linux file system, and you'll have a Linux swap partition, and then have the Linux file system. So if EFI's file system is basically where our boot sector will be, where our kernel will be, for the boot above stuff, and so on. So this where our grub will be installed on, and Linux swap partition is basically if you run out of like RAM or something like that, run out of memory, then it will start using for swap partition. And once you have shut down a PC, then the swap data and the swap partition is gone, same as RAM. And for Linux file system, basically this is where all files will be stored on. So once you have created this, what you're going to have to do is basically format these partitions. And it's not very hard to format these partitions. You guys should be fine at doing it, but you're going to have to do that. So do mkfs, and I'll do .fat. Copy out this command. Okay, now that should format this partition. Now do game. Then I'll do partition 3. Okay. Now it should take only 3 minutes. Good job. So now what I have to do is create for swap partition. So do mk swap, and I'll do this command. Good job. Now you have completely done this correctly. So what you guys will now to do is to actually start installing Arch Linux. So what you guys need to do is do mount the SDA3 MT. Press. Just copy down these commands that I'm going to do right now. Good. And now we can do swap on dev SDA 2. Cool. Okay, so now what you guys will need to do is we can enable. Okay, so I have to do this now. So do nano, and I have to do etc. And I can do pacman dot d. Now I can do mirror list, and that should allow us to use a mirror list. So just basically it tells over here etc. mirror list. We can also enable support from live system, but I'm commenting for full lines from etc. pacman.conf. Okay, so this is basically everything. So you guys can with all that from. Okay, so I'll just exit from this. Yes, so you guys can view this if you wanted to. Okay, so what you guys can do as well is that you can obviously go to edit this file as well. So you guys should be able to do that. So we can also enable Arch support for live system, but I'm commenting for full line from etc. pacman.conf file. So we can also do that. So let's do that, shall we? So that way you guys know how to do it. So do nano. We can also use Vim if we wanted to, but we may have to install Vim. So do pacman.conf, and then from here what you guys can do is scroll all the way down until find include equals to. So we should find this one, no, not this one. We should find this one. Now just uncomment these 2 lines, and I'll go to Control X, and now we can save it, yes, and now we can write changes to this file. So just press on to enter. Good. So we have updated this, didn't we? Now we're going to have to start installing Arch Linux. So from here we're going to be installing Vim. So you guys can use Vim if you wanted to. Now just do pack strap. And then do mmt. Just copy down my commands. Nano, and now we can do Vim. And we can also install something else such as NeoFetch if we wanted to. Okay, so once you have started with that, it should all do that now. Okay, so right now it's going to go ahead and install with installation. So just press onto Y and it should start installing it. Okay, so you guys may ask, how long will this take? Well, it depends on the internet, but normally it should only take around 15 minutes for it to be done. So I'm going to pause this video very quickly, and once it's done, I'll be back. Hello guys, I am back. So basically, what you're going to have to do now is that after we have installed the actual system, we're going to have to do some more configuration, and we can't even boot up yet because it didn't even install grub yet. But yeah, basically it should be working once you have finished with this guide. Okay, go back to the virtual machine, and what you guys will need to do is then gen f stab. Now we can do basically copy this command. This should allow us to install it by generating for stab file for a new Arch Linux installation. So we have to do that. Okay, we've done that, so that's pretty cool. Okay, now we're going to have to do cat. Okay, that's pretty epic. Good. Okay, Arch Linux system configuration. So this is what we actually have to follow now. So we're going to have to log in as root by going to our root partition for the installed system. So let's do arch, and now we can do chroot. Now do mmt. Good, so we are here now. So we can do echo. I would like to call this one okay, that's pretty awesome. So arch Linux, let's just keep it simple. So just call it arch Linux. And from here, what you guys can do is etc. Now we can host name. Okay, so that should do that. If you want to confirm that, it's a right host name, what you guys can do is do cat, and then we can do etc. And now we can do host name. If we need to find out what host name is, for my case, it is Arch Linux. Okay, cool. So now next we will have to configure our system language. So for this, we may have to install Nano. Install any favorite editor for the terminal. So this could be Vim, this could be Nano, this could be VI, or it could be anything that we want. It's all up to you. So you can install Nano. Just install that if you wanted to, and it's all up to date. That's all pretty cool. So you can obviously install it if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that in my case. Okay. Now, what you guys should do is do nano, and now we should do ext, and now what you guys should do is do locale.gen, and this is what you guys should be able to see. Now we have to look for the okay, good. So we have to look for these two lines, and then we have to uncomment them. So to do this, just look for them first. So this could be enus. So this is one of them. So just delete that one, and then also delete that one. We also have to en-us. Look for enus. Oh wait, we already done that one. Okay, good. So we can do Control X, and this should save for a document. So that should be fine. Let's scroll all the way down. Okay, so locate to system language layout. So you guys will be able to do this if you wanted to. So in my case, I will do that. I will do locale-gen. Okay. So this should only take a few seconds. And then once we have done with that, we can do ecoline equals to this command. So this is basically setting up the language for the system. And we also have to do next for system time zone. So what we have to do now is do ecoline equals to en-us .utf. Now to just do -8, and now for this part we can do etc. Do locale.conf, and that should work. And now what we can do is export lang equals to en-us .utf-8. So that should do all that. And now to do some system time zone configuration. So what you guys can do, we can do OSHA, we can do United Kingdom, or whatever. It's all up to you. But in our case, we will basically zone info. Okay, this should display. Okay, now just do ls. Now do usr, and now you guys can just retry this. So share, and then it should be zone info. Yep, and that should allow us to see all the zone infos. Okay, guys, so you should be able to see all this. What you guys can do is do ln-s. Okay, now we can do usr. Now do share zone info. And I will just choose ASA because ASA is cool. Just make sure that if you're installing this on real hardware, just make sure it is for right zone info. Otherwise, I might want to do a few issues there and there, but I don't see that as a problem though. Okay. So we can do etc. Now we can do locale time, and that should set up this. Good. So we should also configure for hardware clock to use. Hardware clock is usually set for local time. Okay, so guys, we'll be able to do this if we wanted to. Obviously, we don't have to, but it's all up to you with a hardware clock thing. Okay, now we can do nano. Go to etc. and now we can do pacma.conf, and then there should be a line with scroll all the way down, and now we should see this line. Just uncomment that, and now I should be able to do Control X, and now I can save it. Yes, and now I can just press into enter, and then we're all set with that part. Okay. If you want to enable support used to downloading and building ARG, go to the bottom of and add the following directories. Shall we do that? Yeah, I'm going to show guys how to do that. Maybe that is important if you want to do that. Etc. Now we can just do pacman and now .conf. Okay, so from here, what you guys can do is scroll all the way down, and I should do. We won't be able to see it here because we're gonna have to add it ourselves. And now we guys can do arch Linux fr. You can do sig level equals to never. This is quite optional, guys, so we can skip this part of it, but you guys can basically do whatever you want with installation. This is just to give you an overview of how it's kind of done. repo.arch linux.fr. Now you guys can do that, and there should be that pound sign which you need, and then from here we can do just arch. So yeah, basically that should be it. Let me just double check it though. Yeah, it seems good. I don't see any mistakes in that. Okay guys, so what we can do is Control X, and now we can save it, yes, and now we can start writing into this file. Good. So we basically have done this to this config file. Okay, so after we have done that, what you guys will need to do is update the database. So just do pacman-syu, and this should update the database. So this should not take that long at all. So that's nothing to do. That's a good thing. Okay, so now we're going to have to set up a password, and then we have to set up a user, basically. Okay. Firefox is not responding. Great. Okay, so what guys we need to do is set a password for user, such as doing this passwd, and this should set up a password for root user. So you just have to wait for it to respond. Okay. Now you can type down whatever password I want. In my case, I'd put down a very easy password. You guys can basically do the same. User add -mg. But if you're doing this on a real hardware, I recommend doing this on actual big strong passwords. I have to put them into the group. We have to put them into storage, and then to a power group, so we can give them some powers. So yeah, that's basically is that part. Now we can put, we can do bin, and then from there we can do bash. And this is the part where we have to add a user, so we can just name him John. Hopefully this is successful. Yes, it was successful. So now we can add a password for John, or a username. It could be page or something like that. Now put down 123, 123, 123. Okay, so once I have done that, we can basically do chage -g 0, and now we can add your name. Yeah, we've done it. So we have set up our user. Okay. So to guys, what we need to do is install sudo and then install vim if we wanted to install vim. I'm going to skip that though because I don't like vim, but you guys can install it by following these commands. In my case, I will just install sudo. Yes, install. It should be a very quick installation. It should not take long at all. Good. So now what you have to do is go to this line in the etc. sudoers file. So we have to do nano, or use vim if you wanted to use vim. Now go to sudoers, sudo pers, and then we should find this file. We just have to basically uncomment it. So root. So once you see this file, just delete it, and now I can do Control X. Yes, save it. Yes, we should be fine with that. Good. On the last step, install for bootloader. Okay, so at this point you have to install for bootloader, otherwise we can't boot up. Okay, that's easy to do anyway because Arch Linux is actually easy. Grab, and now we can do EFI boot mgr dos. So basically just copy this command. So we have mtools, don't we? FFA bomb. Okay, good. So if there's any errors, no report to us. Okay, yeah, just put down yes, and this should start installing grub. So this should only take a few seconds for it to install that, and we're gonna have to make a directory with bootfi. Okay, so once it has done that, we're gonna have to do a make it directory. So this is quite important because it's where our obviously where our bootloader is. Okay, good. So now I have to mount it by doing this command, dev sda1, and now guys, what you're gonna do is do boot dash efi. Okay, good. So once we have done that, we're gonna have to do grub install, and now guys, we'll have to do target equals to. Well, it might be a little bit different, but should basically be the same if using a EFI system with a 64-bit CPU, basically. Now we can also do bootloader dash ID, and now we can do grub UEFI. And now we can do recheck. Okay, so that should allow us to do that. So it's going to start installing it. I will just pause this video, and once it's installed, I'll be back. Hello guys. Once you have finished with installing for grub, what you guys will need to do is actually do a grub configuration, and then after that we have to reboot and see if it reboots. Hopefully it does, otherwise I will have to redo this video again. Alright, do config. And now do O, and now from here we can do boot, and now from here we can do grub, and then do grub dot cfg, and hopefully this does work. Okay, so before we finish, what you guys will need to do is obviously set up the network, because at first it won't work because you don't have a DNS server thing, so you're going to have to set that up. Okay, so I found a few kernels, so that's pretty good. So that should be fine. Okay, good. So what guys we need to do exit, and I have to start mounting on mount dash A. Let's just make sure all the petitions are mounted. I may show up this error, but just do tally init 6. So I'm going to go and just do a reboot. Alright. Okay, it looks like we have Arch Linux installed. Just click onto there and it will say uploading Linux, loading in it, and then yeah, we got Arch Linux installed. Ah, happy me. I'm just so happy that I was able to get Arch Linux installed. Yay. And you guys also learned how to install Arch Linux. I knew how to do the petitions, but I still need some help with doing it, so I just followed this guide. I'll leave this down in the description down below. But it's actually pretty cool. I did this half of it by myself with petitions and stuff like that. Okay, now put down my name. Put down the password. I was serious. Okay. I have to change your password apparently. So passwords do not match. Okay, can I just please log in? Well, I'm required to change the password immediately. Okay. So somebody's telling me that I need to change my password. Oh no, I did this wrong. Okay. I thought I needed to change my password at that point. Okay, yeah. And then for current password, just set it up as your current password. Hopefully it does work this time. Yes, we're in now. Okay, cool. So to guys, what we need to do is set up for networks, because if we try to do ping google.com, it won't work. And that's because we need to fix some stuff here. So guys, what we need to do is sudo system ctl and do start dhcp cd. Ah, okay, I see. I have to log in as sudo. Ah, okay, I see. So I wrote this wrong then. Let me just log in as a root user, so that way I don't have to worry about this. Hold on. Would it just be yeah, I'm root now. Okay, that's fine. It told me to change my password when I was a user, but for the sudo user, which is quite important to like a damage a file system, I still have it as simple as 1, 2, 3. This is a bit stupid, but that's fine. Okay, system. I thought I might have changed the password for them as well. So start dhcp cd. Hopefully I did what this failed to start. We reduce the internet because there's no name by default. In order to overcome this problem, if we produce to start and enable. Okay, so I have dhcp cd. Maybe if I try again, can I just do, because already I'm a system user, aren't I? So ctl, so system ctl, and now if I do start dhcp cd, okay, service not found, IP A. Can I scroll way down? Okay, cool. So basically, I'm having a few issues there with the network. So I will also lose the internet connection because there's no DHCP. Client is running by default on the system. In order to overcome this problem, issue the following command with root privileges to start and enable for DHCP client. Also check if the network interface is up and has a IP address. Okay. So just do sudo. Hopefully this does work. System ctl start dhcp cd. Okay, so if I now do sudo, I'm just going to ignore it. System ctl, and now if we do enable dhcp cd. Okay, now if we're trying to do ping google.com. Oh, there's store failure. Okay, can I do neofetch though? Because I know I installed that. Yes, I have neofetch. So that's basically how guys will be able to do it. So basically we have installed Arch Linux onto our system. Obviously we're going to have to do some configuration. This is the commands that I'm meant to type. It's not working for me for some reason. Maybe I'm just not typing it correctly. But basically I will end this video there. Please like and subscribe. And yeah guys, that was basically for base installation. I'm not going to install graphical user interface. I'm not going to help out with the network stuff because I don't want this video to be too long. You guys will be able to do this yourself by with friend Google. So yeah, basically it's a very good installation though. So this is how I normally install Arch Linux. At least I just follow this nice manual, which helps me very nicely on how to do it. So yeah, I will leave this manual down in the description below so that you guys can have a look at it if you wanted to. Yeah guys, I'm going to end the video there. Anyway guys, bye.